So I just wanted to get into this video where they further discuss this confusion when it comes to transgenderism or gender affirming care or women being known as women, and then you have these alternative women. And Pierre asked this woman a question about the limitations on people who want to identify as something other than what they were born as. So I just wanted to get into it.
Is it limitless, this self-identity?
It's not totally limitless.
What's the limit?
When you're talking about International Women's Day, I don't know why we take the conversation around International Women's Day and make it about this.
But if anyone,
there's so many benefits.
right, but if
to
anyone,
having a
according
day.
to you, can identify as a woman, anyone can, right?
I don't see a problem with
Just literally put the hand up and say, I'm a woman.
But it's not an easy thing to do, to go out into
Actually,
the world.
it's
very easy.
very easy.
You might think it's easy to say, but to decide to do that, to say
What
this
does
is
doing
who,
it involve?
Whatever that person decides, but to
Does
go
it
out
look
into
like
the world
makeup?
and say I don't.
You see, she just said something out of both sides of her mouth. You find these advocates who stand for this shit. Sometimes you could tell they don't really stand for it, but it's just monetary. But you find these people who talk out of two sides of their mouth and contradict themselves all the time when you have a person in their right mind who can prove to them that is buffoonery and nonsensical when it comes to this ideology. Because by that logic, if you say that you're a male and you want to be a woman, like, then I can say I want to be a pizza or some shit like that. Like, that's just how buffoonery it is. That's how cartoonish this shit is.
Identify as perhaps the sex I
So
was
why
born
can't
as.
I
It's not-
identify? Okay, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was.
I'm serious. I'm serious. If I can identify as anything without any need to prove I'm actually what that is,
I
why
think,
can't I on International Women's Day say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
I think taking it to a kind of absurd
No,
status,
I think
we're
that's
talking
what-
about quite a
With
strong
respect, I think
physical
that
change.
you'd already opened the absurdity door by saying it is limitless. You can do what you.
Thank you. That's the whole thing about this subject. They already opened the absurdity door by telling people that they could be whatever they want. It's absurdity because then people gonna say, well, I'm a dumpster. I want to be a dumpster today, so I'm a dumpster. That's the cartoonery aspect, if that's even a word. But it's just cartoonish. That's how you know that this concept is wrong. It's of Satan. That's what the fuck it is. And it's a vexation of spirit. It's a silly ass concept and it's just a cartoon. It makes the world a cartoon when you push this shit because a lot of silly ass people conform to it. Even the ones that don't even, make the choice to want to do that. They just side with it. Ridiculous.
Like anyone can say I'm a woman. So I simply ask you, why can't I?
I mean, this point kind of ridicules trans people to an extent.
Actually, I think
that's-
what
I
you
think
said
that's
ridicules
problematic.
trans people because actually people who go through the full process of transition, who actually go through what we used to call a sex change, which I don't think you can muck around with original biology, but those who actually go through surgical procedure over a number of years.
Now, I like how you said that because it's not a natural occurrence. When it comes to the transition, it's not natural. You cannot go from a male to a female. Like, it cannot happen. It's something that doesn't necessarily happen. That's how you know this whole shit is just a farce.
I've got great respect for that very difficult journey they go on. I have zero respect for people who just wallop their hand up and go, suddenly, I'm a woman and I want all the rights that a woman has and I want to compete, say, in sport. I'm a 6'4" athlete, sprinter, swimmer, whatever, who's competed very mediocrely in male sport. I now want to come in and crush women in swimming pools and in sprinting events and break all their records, perhaps irrevocably, just by saying, I'm a woman. I think that is the absurdity you were talking about. My response was to say, well, if it's limitless, why can't I then say whatever I want to say? And you say immediately, as I knew you would, well, that's ridiculous. But my point is, you were being ridiculous.
Well, that's your opinion. You can think I'm ridiculous, but I don't think you can say, well, it has to
I don't know why I am, but you're not.
I don't think you have to say it's post-op is the only way that someone's allowed to identify
Well,
as
the
trans.
original
This is
standard
not
for
us to
the original
decide.
standard for being transgender was being diagnosed with gender dysphoria, which is a legitimate condition. And now it's being, however way you feel. So if you feel on Tuesday you're a woman and on Thursday you're a pizza, that's perfectly valid. But to you, that's ridiculous.
My point exactly. I agree with you, man. My point exactly.
Ridiculous, and I want to know why that is ridiculous. We should be talking about actual women on International Women's Day. That's not crazy.
I mean, I agree. But your idea of an actual woman.
The chromosomes. It's pretty
It's an adult female.
Oh my God. What's your idea of an actual woman? A vagina. If you have a vagina, you are a female. That's it. Simple as that. If you were born with a vagina, you're a female. Stop this madness. What they say, what makes you act? Now they asking these silly questions now. Soon they gonna start asking what makes you a son? What makes you a daughter? What makes you a breastfeeder? They trying to make everything absent of gender. That's how anarchic this society is, man. You just a fleshly blood human being. You're not a gender. It's a fucking cartoon world, man.
It's not
The
difficult.
chromosomes are a pretty good indication.
I don't think you have to be
Thank you.
biologically female to identify.
Then
as
you
a
are
woman.
wrong, because then I can identify as a fox.
Thank you. Thank you. I can identify as a fucking pot. I can identify as a sofa. You cannot say that just because you feel like this, then that's what you are. No, if you were born a female, you are a female. Stop the fucking madness. Gosh.
Yeah.
But again, it's
You
a kind
can.
of an absurd point.
How many?
Like,
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Angelica. How many genders are there?
2.
There are 2 genders.
Oh.
Wow. So you don't believe in transgenders at all?
Well, I think there are.
Oh, hang on. Whoa. There are 2 genders.
Well, it's taught in.
Well, why do you say well? You've literally just launched this huge defense of transgenderism. Now you've eradicated it.
I think
If there are 2 genders, you mean male and female, right?
there's gender fluidity. I will
Fluid between what?
Between what?
between different identities, and we can choose different
You
identities.
see how difficult this is, though?
But it is difficult. But I think
Between different identities. Oh my God. This woman right here just an advocate. She probably getting paid by these people. By the LGBTQPSSRA. Whatever the fuck it is, man. It's fucking confusion, man. I hate all this shit. This world, man, needs to be destroyed.
Dear trans kids,
My dazzling trans youngsters.
My young trans powerhouses.
My courageous trans bunnies.
Beautiful, extraordinary trans kids. Hi, we love you. That wasn't part of the script, but I added it.
You're extraordinary.
You're inspiring.
You're exactly who you're supposed to be.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
No one can erase who you are, no matter how hard they try. You are a gift to this world.
You.
Exclusive, the trans school conspiracy exposed. Midwest teachers trade tips on subversively and quietly transitioning kids without telling their parents. And skirting Republican gender laws and workshop founded by federal government. Yo, it's important for us to protect our children. This is why I got this little series about the children, because the children are impactful, but they also feeble-minded, so it's easy for these people that's in power to pretty much impose and impress upon them when it comes to these ideologies that they want for the world, for the overall structure of this satanic Luciferian world. So you see these people here, these most likely are the teachers. Dozens of Midwestern teachers met online this week and traded tips on helping trans students change gender at school without parents' knowledge, while criticizing a raft of new Republican laws on sex and identity. It's just ridiculous, man. The fact that you have kids that's quote-unquote transitioning just shows you the base level aspect of this society and how it's at its heights. Like, this shit is sick. It's sick. You got grown people trying to encourage children to quote-unquote transition. Grown people. Like, these people are monsters in this type of dynamic when you think about it. Because all they doing is harming the children. Like, this transgender agenda does nothing for you in a positive way. It does nothing for you in a positive way. Everything about it is negative. And given the fact that these people, they put under a strong delusion, that makes it even worse. Like, it's nothing that's positive that comes out of this shit, bro. Nothing. There's no fulfillment that you get. You got these people in the beginning of the video saying how you're your true self. Nobody can tell you what you're not, what you're supposed to be. Bro, like, if you were born a male, then you quote unquote transitioning from male to quote unquote female. That's you trying to tell yourself that you're not you. Like, that's not you embracing who you really are. That's the opposite of that. That's the confusion that they push in this world with that shit. Where they say like you're being true to yourself. How are you being true to yourself if you're going from what you naturally are? That doesn't make any fucking sense. But these people in this world, they'll encourage these people to be on board with that shit. Like those are mechanisms or methods for, you know, enticing and impressing and encouraging those people to do that stuff. The kids to do that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like telling them that it's their true self and this is who you really are. No, it's not. How is it that what they really are if they were born what they naturally are? Like, if you were born a male, then that's what you really are. It's not no, well, I think I'm this, so this is what it. No. If you think that, that means that you have an issue. I don't care what nobody fucking say. If you think that, but, you know, in the parents, it's not that, then that means that it's something wrong mentally. If you were born with a penis, you are a boy. It's nothing around that. Like, you can't convince yourself that you're a female if you don't like if you see something between your legs that's not like inside. You feel what I'm saying? Like our penis goes out. We have a genitalia that goes outward. They have a genitalia that goes inward. If you don't see that, then you're not a female. Like, it's just simple as that. But we live in this world where they try to convince you that if you tell yourself this, then that's what it is. Like I said, I could tell myself that I'm a dresser. Does that make me a dresser? Because I'm looking at my dresser right now. So that's the first thing I can think of. But it's equivalent to that. That's how silly and cartoonish this shit is. You could convince yourself that you're a dresser. That makes you a dresser then. It's the same concept as this tranny shit. It's the same thing. If you were born a male, you are a male. If you tell yourself that you're not a male, then you have a psychological issue. That's all that is. DailyMail.com gained access to an online session hosted by the Midwest and Plains Equity Assistance Center, which is funded by the Department of Education and attended by some 30 teachers from Michigan, Iowa, Ohio, Illinois, and beyond. In the 4-hour workshop, they discussed helping trans students in the face of new laws in Republican-run states on gender, pronouns, names, parents' rights, bathroom access, and sports teams. This is all to further push anarchy. There's nothing that comes out of this as positive. Like, you know how you have teachers that mean well and they want to have some sort of positive impact on society when it comes to children and whatnot. Like, how can you feel like you're doing something good with this? Like really? You get what I mean? This is how you know that we live in an anarchist society, anarchic type of society, because it used to be within someone's good, you know, good graces to do something like from their heart. These people ain't really doing this shit from their heart. They're doing this because they're products of this vibration in the dynamic of the world right now. Like, these are teachers. These are supposed to be influencers. In an immediate sense, in a sense where it's like you're in close proximity to this person. It's not like an influencer as far as like a celebrity and whatnot. Teachers are influencers too to the children. When I was a child, like, you know, during the summer after the year is over, my teacher, she would take me to the Empire State Building and whatnot. Like, we would bond. I don't know. I guess my teacher just saw me and thought I was special or something. I don't know, but she really fucked with me. You know what I mean? And it was in her good graces. It meant well. These people, they like, it's crazy. You got teachers trying to transition children, quote unquote. It's just silly. Like, it's just a silly ass concept, bro. Just like on that song, Kendrick Lamar, Auntie Diaries, Eckhart Tolle says, this is how we conceptualize human beings. That's all it is. Like, quote unquote transitioning, that's not anything that has anything to do with nature at all.